deployment, there is database migration, Snowball, these are the basic AWS analytics services that AWS has to offer, right? Now, why do we need a serverless analytics on AWS, right? Why is AWS analytics services not enough, right? So let's say consider a scenario where you are onboarding new data, right? So generally building a data pipeline in a traditional analytics space, right? So what do you need, right? So you need to have an extensive communication or coordination with your business teams, then engineering teams, data science, analytics teams. You first get the requirements, design schemas, infrastructure capacity requirements, workload management, all of those things need to be happening, right? So extensive coordination required, building the infrastructure, everything needs to be done, right? Now, for a large number of use cases today, businesses, data science, data and analysis, these people, they are demanding an easy and frictionless self-sustaining option, right? To build an entire end-to-end data pipeline, right? Because they find it hard and inefficient to basically constantly changing schema, right? Schema is changing constantly. There is time, you're spending too much time on capacity management, slotting infrastructure. Those are the things they find difficult, and then they want a very frictionless, easy to use data engineering pipeline, right? End-to-end pipeline. So here's an example, right? You make a simple, tiny schema change, right? And your whole data pipeline grows, right? You want to support your customers. You want to fix one broken change, right? But then you have to revert the entire project, right? That's not how you want to work, right? So what do you do, right? So there is this AWS services, right? Let's look at what they offer, right? So we have serverless, right? Zero infrastructure, zero administration, right? Automatically scales resources which uses, never pay for idle resources, availability, fault tolerance, those are built in, right? So those are the things that serverless technologies offer. Now, why do you use an AWS serverless technology, right? So why would you use an AWS or serverless technology for an analytics workload, right? So you use it because, let's say you're building your data lake, data processing pipelines, you want ingestion, you want storage, processing, those kind of things you want to do, right? Structured, unstructured data, you want to process, right? So now, you don't need to manage the infrastructure, right? You don't need to provision things, right? All this is done for you. You just have to use serverless technologies, and then you don't have to manage your infrastructure, right? So that's taken care of. You don't need to allot time for people to do it, right? So that's one thing. Then there is zero infrastructure, zero administration, scales. And then also one more thing, there is no base, so, right? Idle resources, let's say I use AWS services, analytics services, right? We see EMR, Redshift, those kind of services that we are using, right? The problem that we face is, let's say I provision a service, and then if there is a workload that I manage, and then I don't use the full capacity, right? Most of the time it is idle, right? So then I have to pay for it, right? So here you might want to use the serverless technology, and you don't have to pay for the idle resources, right? So building a new analytics pipeline, right? Your traditional architecture versus the serverless-driven architecture, right? So the traditional architecture is one which will take a lot of time, effort. You have to build infrastructure, build capacity, things like that. And then the serverless-driven architecture, which is what you will have to manage service, you have to pay only for what you use, those kind of things, right? So what are the different options that AWS provides in the serverless domain, right? So at AWS Reinvent annual conference that happened last year, AWS launched 4 of serverless or on-demand services for its analytic workload, right? So it launched EMR Serverless, MSK Serverless, Reddit Serverless, and Amazon Kinesis on-demand, right? So those are the 4 things that it launched. For this session, we are going to talk about EMR Serverless and MSK Serverless. Those are the 2 options we are going to talk about. But these are the 4 services that are launched. All of them are analytics workload. They are trying to provide serverless for that, right? So they are trying to give you the option of using on-demand workloads or managing the serverless, right? So let's say what is Amazon EMR Serverless, right? So we know EMR Serverless is used to manage your analytic workload, right? Let's say you want to process your data to open source framework like Apache Kafka, Spark, not Kafka, sorry, Spark, then there is Presto, then Hive. Those are the things that you want to, those are the open source framework that you want to manage, right? Now you use EMR basically for, let's say, processing these heavy workloads, large workloads, right? So that's why EMR is used. Now, why do we need an EMR serverless, right? So let's go into the detail. EMR serverless is simple to use, right? So no servers to manage. EMR serverless provisions, configures, and dynamically scales the compute and memory resources. So each step, the memory, the compute that you need, right, it is basically provisioned by EMR serverless. You don't need to do it. You don't need to know that my server is going to be this much size. I don't need to know it. Serverless provisions it for you. You just have to be it's easy to create, right? So the resources are easier to create for you, right? And it is fast, right? So optimized runtime that is compatible is 2x faster than the open source framework that are available out there, right? It's cost effective, right? So cost is a big factor. So when you deploy big data workloads, you usually look at cost because let's say I deploy workloads, their idle have to pay for them the idle time because I'm deploying the workloads for a longer time, long capacity. But here, you don't need to worry about it. I've provisioned the serverless technology, so basically EMR serverless. I didn't need to know about the cost because it will be managed, right? So AWS is managing it for me. And I'm only paying for the time I use the service, right? I'm not paying for the time the service is idle, right? Comprehensive, so basically EMR serverless is connected or works with a lot of other features. Amazon EMR Studio is one of the features that you can integrate with serverless, right? What are the advantages of EMR serverless, right? Simple to use, no need to get the cluster size. So this is one thing. With Amazon EMR, you need to mention the server size, the capacity, those things you have to mention. Here you don't need to do that, right? So I'm not aware of what my cluster size would be. I'm doing a POC, right? I'm not aware of it. How do you think about it? So basically, just provision it, right? The EMR serverless, it will manage it for you, right? It will look at the capacity of the workload capacity, and then it will basically manage that for you. Resilience to availability zone failures, right? So that's also one big thing. So let's say there is a ACD failure for a particular workload, right? So usually what we do with Amazon EMR is we have 2 or 3 availability zones we keep for the workload, right? Now let's say there is a failure in one ACD, right? So what do I do, right? So with Amazon EMR serverless, it's managed for you, right? So if one ACD goes down, it will be shifted to a healthy availability zone, right? So resilience is a big factor for EMR serverless. Then enable secure shared application, easy to switch deployment. So one more thing that's common here is you have to have a deployment option, right? So let's say EMR has a particular runtime, so it's like 5.2, 5.3, right? 6, 6.2. So those are the deployment runtimes EMR has. So EMR serverless also has a similar deployment time. So you can use that same point, like same EMR deployment time or runtime to go across multiple applications, right? So here is how it works, right? So let's say I'm an admin, I want to deploy an EMR serverless application, right? So I create an EMR serverless application. One of your users submits a Spark job. There are different ways to submit a Spark job, right? So you can use Apache Airflow, step functions, then data pipelines, CLI, SDK. Those are different options you can use. And then once you do that, the EMR application or the EMR serverless basically creates a Spark, runs a Spark job for you in its EMR service account, right? And then it connects it with your AWS account, right? So you don't have to manage the Spark job that it creates or processes for you, right? It's done by itself. It's managed by AWS. You are just concerned with your particular application, right? So your Spark job, your connectivity with other services, you are concerned with that, right? Not concerned with the infrastructure that it needs to be created, the application or the cluster size, those kind of things you're not concerned with. Availability zones, you're not concerned with resiliency. That's managed for you, right? Okay. So EMR serverless is done, right? Anything you want to know about EMR serverless, what it does or how it works, anything you want to do, I'm open to questions here. Then we'll move to MSK, right? Any more questions on EMR serverless? No? Okay. Fine. We'll move on to MSK straight after that also. See if there is any question. So what is Amazon MSK serverless? Okay. So what is Amazon MSK, right? So MSK stands for Managed Streaming for Apache Kafka, right? So you want to process your data processing workloads, right? You want to process real-time ingestion, real-time streaming, right? Those are the things that you want to process, right? So with that, Amazon MSK is what you use to do that, right? So let's say I have a real-time application, Hotstar, or maybe something like that, which is going to be deploying my application real-time, ingest the data, process it, transform it, visualize it. Those are the applications for which I use MSK, right? Now you may be wondering, why do I need a serverless thing for this, right? You go into detail. So MSK Serverless gives you the on-demand streaming capacity, right? So it scales up and down for you based on the application requirements. You are not the one who's taking care of managing the scaling up, scaling down thing, right? You do not monitor the cluster capacity or reassign the Apache Kafka partitions, right? So Apache Kafka has partitions. You don't have to look at the brokers, see if there are more brokers needed, less brokers needed. That's something you do not have to do, right? With serverless, it is easier to do it, right? So let's say I'm starting out with AWS MSK or Amazon MSK, right? And then I'm not aware of MSK, right? I'm not aware how to provision clusters, how to provision brokers, right? So how do I get started? How to do a simple POC? Then I may want to try Amazon MSK Serverless, right? Because it is easier to do it. You just need to provision it, see how it works. It will automatically monitor capacity, scale up, scale down, those things it will do, right? Then throughput-based pricing. So Amazon MSK Serverless offers throughput-based pricing, so you pay only for the things that you, the data volume or streaming you do, right? So you pay for your resource, right? It's simple to use, lower operational overhead, cost effective. Those are the things that it has. Okay. Auto partition placement, fully compatible, same security as MSK. So security is a big concern, right? So when you do real-time ingestion, real-time streaming, security is a big concern for you, right? Then what is, like, it is not different from MSK, same level of security. Only thing that differs is there are not a lot of controls, right? So with MSK you need to know how do I provision my resources, how do I manage my clusters, Kafka, those things I need to know. Here I do not need to know much because once you provision it, AWS or managed, it is a managed service, so it takes care of scaling up, scaling down, those things are taken care of, right? Okay. So again, a very good question that may come up, right? So that why do I use, when to use MSK versus when to use MSK Serverless, right? So MSK is used when you need a control, right? So you want to use a particular cluster size, when you use a particular workload, management, those kind of things you want to do. So maybe use MSK, right? Stable, predictable workloads, those are things when you want to use MSK. There are large workloads, right? So a company might have like streaming real-time data per day, hundreds or more, right? So then that's basically why I use MSK, right? And MSK Serverless is when you want to get started, right? So initially on my journey, I want to know how MSK or serverless technologies work for analytic workloads. I want to try with MSK. Here's how you get started, right? There are specific workloads, right? So I'm not sure whether my capacity will be up, down. I'm not sure about it, right? So I can use MSK Serverless and see that, you know, my capacity is managed by AWS, right? I don't have to look at it, right? Then there is, you want to offload capacity management, right? So you don't want to be concerned with managing the capacity for your workloads, right? So that's why you use MSK Serverless for doing it, right? So again, we have a diagram. Okay. So let's say I have my Kafka clients, right? I have MSK that I use, maybe MSK, maybe MSK Serverless that I use. Similar process of connecting MSK and MSK to Serverless. Only difference is there's not a lot of controls you get with MSK Serverless. It's managed for you. Then there is Lambda and then there is time for you, right? So this is a very basic thing that we have built, we have put together. Yeah, I think this is MSK Serverless. Here is how it works. And then key considerations for you, right? So let's say, what do you get out of this session, right? What is the thing that you want to take away from this session? If you want to take away, it's easier to adopt the serverless approach to analytics workload, right? So you want to take away that using serverless approach for analytics workloads helps you in a very good way because it's managed, you don't have to take care of a lot of things, you don't have the capacity, you don't have the resources, and it's good for you. Then with EMR serverless, you don't have to configure, optimize, secure, operate clusters to run applications, right? Without this framework. So basically, you want to leave Amazon to do a bunch of stuff for you. You just want to be using the service and get started, right? So similarly, MSK Serverless automatic provisions and scales competence storage resources, right? In considerations, you're open to questions. Any questions on MSK Serverless or EMR Serverless? Yeah. So Glue is basically your, let's say you're processing your workload, right? So you basically use Glue for extract, transform and load, right? So that's basically your forte of using Glue for, right? And EMR is basically going to process large workloads, right? So I have my maybe Spark jobs, right? I have my Presto, high, those kind of jobs, heavy workload jobs, right? So that's when I use EMR. Now, why does an EMR service come into picture, right? So basically, there are customers who want to scale capacity up and down, don't manage multiple things, right? For them, EMR serverless is a very good option. And also, analytics workloads are really heavy, right? So they take a lot of time, large workloads, lot of dependency on people to manage workloads, right? So you want to ease away from that environment, and you want to give them an environment where it is easier for them to manage things with AWS managing that part of the infrastructure. That's why EMR serverless comes into picture or is used, right? It's in GA, so Amazon EMR serverless and Amazon MSK serverless both are in GA, which is general availability, 2 months only. So they have been in general availability for 2 months only. So now they are being used by multiple people. So it's coming up. The serverless in analytic workloads is coming up. It's rising. Not a lot of work has been done yet, but it will be soon. So they are going to be launching multiple things again. Yeah. So where can I learn more? Serverless analytic options on AWS. So I'll scan this slide. You can learn more on what are the options on AWS. EMR you can learn about serverless, and then Amazon MSK serverless you can also learn more, right? Okay. Yeah. Thank you for having me. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. Twitter is a good place to connect. Follow me on GitHub and then check out my blogs. Also, I will give a good shout out to AWS User Group Vadodara for hosting such an event. I think it really requires a large amount of work from the community, the volunteers, the members to host a big event. And it's like behind the scenes, they work really hard. And if there is an issue, feel free to give us feedback, but don't criticize too much because it's volunteers after all. We're doing it just for the passion of teaching or helping the community, nothing other than that, right? Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, so thank you for your